Roger here. But it is Saturday, guys. It is Saturday. You guys know why I'm here? So let's get going. I don't want to stay live for too long. I want to go for at least an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes tops. And then after that, I'm going to end this live stream. So let's get on with it. I hope everybody's having a great Saturday today, so far today. So let's get started with the first. Hey, Cameron. Hope you're having fun. Hope you're having a great day today so far. If you guys want to hit that like button, feel free to do so. It is not required, but I do appreciate it regardless. We got 4 likes apparently, 3 likes apparently. Thank you. Start off the show with Monday. And we start off the stream with Monday Night Raw, the obvious first show of the entire week. And Seth Rollins started the week off as the new World Heavyweight Champion. He cashed in at SummerSlam. At SummerSlam, we got Gunther versus CM Punk, a great championship match. Seth Rollins then came out after the match, decided to show the entire world that his injury that he may or may not have suffered was nothing but a ruse. Nothing. It was all made up. Even his own wife, Becky Lynch, was backstage in Garoa as this was all happening, and she was like, "Oh, was some of my posts misleading?" As if to say she was in on it. Yeah, she was in on it. She was in on the whole plan. And so it was genius. But yeah, Seth Rollins is the new World Heavyweight Champion, and we now officially have a name for Rollins' new faction. It is called The Vision. Which, if you're thinking about it, it makes perfect sense. One of Rollins' many nicknames is the Visionary. So it makes perfect sense. Obviously, Seth Rollins talked about the usual stuff. Talked about CM Punk. He referenced his promo from the Monday Night Raw after Night of Champions, where he made it clear that as long as he's breathing, he will never, ever, ever allow CM Punk to ever be a world champion ever again. And this was obviously proved right when he cashed in on CM Punk. It makes sense. It made sense, and hey, I know a lot of people, going into SummerSlam, were like, oh wait, Seth Rollins might cash in on Cody Rhodes and John Cena. And I know why some people would have wanted that, because it would have been something different, because it wouldn't have been as predictable as Seth Rollins cashing in on CM Punk. But then why would CM Punk say that he doesn't want CM Punk to ever be a world champion ever again, as long as he's alive and breathing? Okay, why would he say that if he wasn't gonna follow through on that? And he did. But as always, this segment didn't go down without an interruption. And who else would interrupt Seth Rollins but none other than LA Knight? Yeah. Obviously, we haven't seen LA Knight since Saturday night's main event, which got a lot of fans worried. Like, what the hell? Did they just give? Because it's Oh, hey, thanks. I guess you guys can hear me because someone came in here saying, hey, bro's not muted today. Well, hey, Brandon Mitchell. Oh. Head, dang it. I'm trying to time you out, but I accidentally unblocked you. If there's anybody in here, if there's anybody in here who has not hit that like button just yet, if you want to, it's not required, but I do appreciate it regardless. It was now as of now, right now, we now know what the plans were for Seth Rollins potentially going into SummerSlam. They were going to have LA Knight lose at Saturday Night's main event, then run a rematch at SummerSlam with LA Knight getting the big win. So when they gave Knight the impromptu win at Saturday Night's main event, a lot of people were like, oh no, did they give LA Knight the win they were going to give him at SummerSlam, and then just decided, oh, okay, well now we don't know what to do with LA Knight going into SummerSlam. Brandon Mitchell, I do not know when Cody Rhodes will turn heel. I'm going to make a bold prediction. If WWE is going to do CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 42, that would be a good way to do it. That would be a good time to do the heel turn. Because just like SummerSlam this year, it will basically be two super over baby faces. But I'm sure the crowd will be more aligned with CM Punk than Cody Rhodes, even though they'll be cheering for both guys. I'm sure that the majority of the cheers will go to CM Punk. And if that happens, and if that match actually does wind up happening at WrestleMania 42, that's where I could see the heel turn happening. But obviously WWE doesn't feel, and obviously I get why they don't want to turn Cody Rhodes heel at the moment. He is the top babyface, and there's literally nobody to fill that spot. If he turns heel, who takes away that babyface spot from Cody Rhodes? Not LA Knight, because he's basic, and also he's on SmackDown. There aren't any babyfaces on SmackDown that could go up against Cody Rhodes as a heel. You got Jacob Fatu, but he's currently embroiled in the bloodline stuff, so you can't do that. Who else on SmackDown? I mean, look, if you were to turn Johnny Gargano face again, you could recreate the 2018, 2019 version of babyface version of Johnny Gargano and have him go up against Cody, but I think he's doing great work as a heel, so I don't think I would do that. But I just don't know when they're going to do it. No, he's not, Mox. He's not. But hey, we got LA Knight coming out. He obviously made mention of Saturday Night's main event, and he boasted about how he is the last person to have pinned Seth Rollins clean. Obviously, it wasn't the ending that he wanted, but now he's decided that if Seth Rollins is totally healed, he wants Seth Rollins tonight. He wants Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Then Adam Pearce comes out and is like, you know what, LA? I think these people deserve that match. And Seth, because you robbed the fans at SummerSlam of a beautiful moment with CM Punk, he's gonna steal something from Seth. That being the enforcers for Seth Rollins being banned from ringside. Now, immediately, I thought to myself, "Oh shit! This means we're getting a new member to the group, potentially." Now, obviously, that didn't happen. I'll get to the main event later, but that's what I thought immediately as soon as I saw that happen with the fact that Adam Pearce had banned Braun and Bronson from ringside. We got Dragon Lee backstage. They got into an argument with Dominic Mysterio, which then, as we all know, led to a match. Most backstage arguments in WWE right now are the best bet to get a match. Like, if you're not already scheduled for a match, just get into an argument with someone backstage. It'll get you a match, obviously. You haven't been able to ban me yet. You haven't been able to ban me yet, Ped, so or Mox, so what makes you think that's gonna work? Oh, thanks, Kayla. I don't know who you are, but thanks. I appreciate it. Well, yeah. But yeah, if you're not already booked for a match on the show, just get into a backstage argument with somebody, and it'll give you and you'll get a free match on TV right then and there. That's just the way it always seems to be nowadays. It's like you get into an argument with someone, it immediately gets you a match on television, because then the general manager will be right there almost every time, just almost as if he's looking for matches to book on the show because he didn't come prepared already. But that's just my opinion on it. We got Penta backstage. Another backstage segment which led to a match being made official for tonight. That led to Grayson Waller. Yeah, I'll bet it's a shame Matt didn't ban me yet too, huh, Mox? But I haven't done anything to be ashamed for which I should be ashamed of. Hey, Aaron. If you guys want to hit that like button, feel free to do so. Like I've said now for the last 3 times now, it's not required, but I do appreciate it. After this segment with Grayson Waller and Penta, we got another match between Sheamus and Rusev. And this match went about 10 minutes. It didn't exactly end. Well, neither man was able to get the win, and this led to them brawling backstage. To them eventually brawling backstage. Hey, Aaron, I'm glad you're just chilling. Me too. And this would be shown at least 2 or 3 other times throughout the show where they would have a backstage segment and it would be interrupted by Sheamus and Rusev just brawling with each other. I mean, there was a backstage segment with Sami Zayn, where Sami Zayn was talking about Karrion Kross and the match at SummerSlam, which was not very good at all. Not just because Karrion Kross lost, but because of the way he lost. They made him look like a joke. But it doesn't matter. But what mattered was he got... Well, the first and only time I'll probably agree with you. I like Sami Zayn, but I just don't know if he actually needed to win that match. Sami Zayn is already a top star in WWE. He's literally bulletproof at this point. You can't book him to lose a match and it won't. You can book him to lose a match and it won't affect him at all. Karrion Kross is not bulletproof yet. He's not that type of star yet. He's not the type of star yet to where he can lose a match and it won't affect him. Him losing this match definitely affects him, and not in a good way. But it is what it is. We also got Lyra, Valkyria, and Bailey in a backstage segment. Lyra was very much upset over the fact that she lost her last chance match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Bailey tried to explain to her what happened during the match at the end of the match. Obviously, Bailey had wrapped a chain around her fist and was looking to hit Becky with the chain wrapped fist, but Becky ducked. She hit Lyra instead. This allowed Becky to get the win. It is what it is. Would I have liked Lyra to win the match? For sure, but hey, it is what it is. A top name is attached to the title, and that's basically all that matters. Then we get, obviously, Lyra is not happy with Bailey and just wants her to just stay away from her for the time being. After that, we get Grayson Waller versus Penta. This match was predictable because I didn't think Penta was going to lose this match. And he won anyways. Obviously, the New Day tried to get involved. Yeah, it is what it is. Let's move on. We got Naomi. She was out there. Obviously, she was out there. And what's probably worse about this promo that we got from Naomi, Grayson Waller is not boring. Okay? He's not boring. And I don't know why you're able to keep coming back, because I keep timing you out and I keep hiding you. You must have like a gazillion accounts. Which is sad. Because you feel the need. This is how you feel the need to spend your Saturday, by tormenting me. Or at the very least, attempting to, and it's not working. So, yeah. Oh yeah, we got Naomi. She was cutting a promo. Obviously talked about SummerSlam, her win, and how she told everybody that she was going to retain at SummerSlam, and how she did, and how she's now focused on that Stephanie Velcro. Stephanie Velcro. That's like the second or third time that she's now botched Stephanie's last name. Which, to be honest, actually is funny, because Naomi is definitely acting like that type of heel that you just can't help but laugh at everything, at some of the stuff she says. Yet she's also trying to get herself booed, which is obviously working. She's getting booed, but I just thought it was funny that she decided to botch Stephanie's last name again. So instead of Stephanie Becker, he's Stephanie Velcro. But we then get a segment with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They are the new women's tag team champions. They were out there celebrating their win, but this celebration was short-lived. This celebration was definitely short-lived, because the champions that they beat, the former champions that they beat, Raquel Gonzalez, Raquel Rodriguez, and Roxanne Perez, they came out to basically demanded a rematch for the titles. And they demanded a rematch for the titles, which Adam Pearce was willing to give them, since they were the former champions, and they did sort of basically have a rematch clause. Oh, 7 likes. Let's go. Yeah, well, Now, this match did happen. Happened next. It was next, and this match went about 13 minutes, and it was a pretty good match. Not, better than, it wasn't worse than their SummerSlam match. It was actually a little bit better than their SummerSlam match. The quality and the pacing of it. But hey, it was good. Obviously, the champs retained, the new champs retained. It's obvious they were going to retain because why would they win the tag team titles and then just drop them no more than a day or two later? Now, obviously, they did that earlier this year when they had Lyra and Becky win the titles, only for them to drop them back to the Judgment Day no more than a day or two later, which was obviously done to establish the heel turn from her heel turn for Becky. So it makes sense, but this time I didn't think they were going to actually lose. So they didn't, and they didn't. We got a John Cena vignette signaling that he would be on SmackDown this week. And obviously he had a lot to say. But I'll get to that when I get to SmackDown. We got Dominic Mysterio. Let me look at my notes because I can't remember exactly. This match went about 10 minutes, went about 9 minutes. Not bad. But obviously we got El Grande Americano getting involved in this match. But it wasn't just one El Grande Americano we got involved in this match. Apparently we got both El Grande Americanos involved. Obviously, Dragon Lee was able to get both of them out of the ring, was able to fend off both of them. Then, not only do we now have two El Grande Americanos, we now have three. A third one apparently decided to come into this, get involved in this match. Obviously, the first one we have been introduced to since Chad Gable got injured was obviously that one's Ludwig Kaiser. The second one, people are convinced it's Butch or Pete Dunne. And now people are thinking that this third one might be Tyler Bate. I don't know why we're obviously getting all of these El Grande Americanos. Why do we need 3 El Grande Americanos when we only need 1? But it is what it is. I'm not gonna sit here. Shut up, Mox. I can do whatever the hell I want to do. It's my life, not yours. You are not gonna tell me how to live my life. You are not gonna tell me how to live my life. Obviously, I can do whatever the hell I want to do, and you can't do anything about it. I mean, you've been trying for 2 years to get me quote-unquote canceled or quote-unquote banned or quote-unquote gone from YouTube, and it has not worked. So why aren't you just giving up? We got Io Sky backstage. She was with Asuka and Kairi Sane. She had a talk with Adam Pearce, and she is getting a match. She has a match this upcoming Monday, against Naomi for the Women's World Championship. I do not think that Io wins. There's going to be some shenanigans, I'm sure, because I'm guessing they're not going to want Naomi to pin Io to lose clean. But I don't know. As it is, we got Becky Lynch. We got Becky Lynch backstage. You got Becky Lynch in a segment out there cutting a promo that was interrupted by Nikki Bella, and they would proceed to go back and forth. I'm going to tell you right now, Becky Lynch did not need to roast Nikki as hard as she did. She started talking about how her and her husband Seth are the power couple in WWE, and how at one point Nikki and her almost husband John Cena could have been the dominant WWE couple, but apparently Nikki can't see him anymore. Okay, Becky roasted Nikki in this promo. Obviously, Nikki got in some good lines, but Becky Lynch won this round. And they're clearly going for a Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, potentially at Clash in Paris, which I'm not mad at if they're going to do it there, because that would be a good match to have on the PLE. We're obviously getting John Cena versus Logan Paul, and potentially maybe Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, and I don't know what else, maybe this match, and then maybe. And we also got, and now in the main event, LA Knights versus Seth Rollins. This match was for the World Heavyweight Championship. Went about 14 minutes. It was a good match, but it was the post-match angle that was the best part of it. We got Seth Rollins, we got CM Punk. He came out of the crowd, attacked Seth Rollins. This led to the match obviously being called via DQ. So obviously Seth Rollins still, no, he must not. He doesn't have to. So LA Knight lost the match via DQ because Seth Rollins got attacked by CM Punk. Obviously, he was not happy about that. As soon as he realized, oh shit, CM Punk cost me my match, he wasn't happy about that. This then led to Bronson and Braun obviously getting involved. Then Roman Reigns came out to help, but it did not work because he got himself beat down severely. And so that's how the show ended. And apparently the tribal thief decided to strike again. Bronson Reed decided, you know what, I took Roman's shoes last time. I'm just going to do it again tonight. Just for the heck of it. Because why not? That was obviously the most hilarious part of this. This was seeing Bronson Reed again steal the shoes of Roman Reigns. Great. Oh, yeah, that was hilarious. But that's how the show ended. We might be getting the 6-man tag team match at Clash in Paris. LA Knight, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns versus The Vision. Could happen, but we don't know. Now, obviously, there was speculation that the brutal beatdown to Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw was to write him off television so he could film Street Fighter. Now, apparently, that's not the case. Screw you, Mox. I mean, why are you even still here? Why are you still here? You are desperate. You are desperate at this point. You are desperately trying to cling to me because I'm the only thing that's making you relevant on YouTube. If it wasn't for me, nobody would know who you are. No one would even care. You just, I mean, you always want to say I'm this and that or whatever, but but you're definitely showing signs of you know what, or being a you know what. You have this like weird obsession with me, and it's getting really weird. May, if I were to rate Monday Night Raw tonight this week, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Was flawed in a few places, but all in all, a good show. Now we go on to Tuesday in NXT. The show started out with Blake Monroe versus Kalani Jordan. This match was made official because of last week when Kalani Jordan was involved in a segment with Blake Monroe. Well, and so this match started out the show. Went about 5 minutes. I thought it was gonna go a lot longer, but then Jordan Grace, she came out. She chased. She was in a neck brace, in a neck collar, in a collar. She chased Blake Monroe out of the Performance Center and into an SUV. And Kalani Jordan was able to get the count-out win. Good for her. Not exactly. I mean, it's good for her, but I know she probably would have. I'm pretty sure she would have wanted to get a decisive pinfall win, but hey, a win is a win. We got JC Jane backstage. JC Jane backstage. She's talking with her Fatal Influence members when I guess you could call him the concierge, I guess you could say, or whatever, the concierge for the I don't even know what you want to call him, but he's in TNA, and he's with and he works with the Elegance brand and Ash by Elegance and the other two girls. One of them's Heather by Elegance, but I can't remember the other one. He had a message for JC Jane ahead of her title defense against Ash by Elegance on TNA. Yeah, it's messed up, but what are you gonna do about it? It's not like you can cash in on me. Oh, and just so you know, I'm not coming on to Matt's live streams while I'm the global champion. That's not gonna happen, and you're gonna have to hide. Come on. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do about it? I'm not showing up. I'm not showing up for Monday night for any of the shows leading into the next time that Matt goes live for a pay-per-view. Just so you know. Just so you're. Oh, and Mox, I wouldn't try what you did last time because I know you probably had something to do with it. You had a fake account of me come into the live chat and say, I'm here, when I actually wasn't there. No, I will not show up. And no, and I will tell Matt. And I will tell Matt explicitly that if someone comes into the live chat with my name and my profile picture and says that I'm here, then it's a fake me. Then it's a fake me. So, yeah. So good luck trying to pull that move a second time. So good luck trying to pull that move a second time, because it's not going to work. It didn't work with Z, with that fake Z account, and it's not going to work with me. We got Chase U, Uriah Connors, and Kale Dixon versus Hank and Tank. This is for the tag team titles. It's tag team titles. This match was okay for what it was. It went about 4 minutes. And obviously, Hank and Tank won the match, retained their titles. Post-match, they got Dark State. They came out, did a hellacious beating on the tag team champions and Chase U. And that's how that ended. We went to commercial break, and then when we come back, we got a backstage promo from Dark State, who basically decided to clear some air when it came to who had attacked Hank and Tank. No more Tank that one time on NXT, because Hank and Tank thought it was the culling that did it, but now Dark State have decided to clear the air and said, "Oh, you thought the culling did that? No, that was us." And so I think what we're doing is we're getting Dark State prepared for a potential run as the tag team champions. Because as much as I like Hank and Tank, I do feel like they're eventually going to drop the titles, and it's probably going to be the Dark State because of what they've been doing recently, targeting the champions. After this, we got Ava backstage in her office with Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace wants a match with Blake Monroe, and Ava agrees, so she has decided to make the match official for Heatwave. NXT Heatwave is on August 24th, so apparently we're getting that match, and I think that is the first match that's been announced for the show so far. So that match should be good, and that I'm pretty sure that's going to serve as Jordynne Grace's final NXT match before moving up to the main roster. I do feel like that's her match that Jordynne Grace loses, maybe not convincingly, but puts up a fight but loses, and then she goes up to the main roster. Because I'm obviously wondering to myself, why hasn't she been moved up already? She doesn't really need to be in NXT anymore. She's done just about as much as she can do. Without winning a title, she's done about as much as she can do. But this, I think, is going to be her final NXT match. And this gives Blake Monroe a big win at a PLE. Actually, it'll be her second straight PLE win, because she pinned the champion, Jacy Jayne, in that tag team match at the Great American Bash. We then get Thea Hale. Who apparently was filming content, I guess, for either YouTube or X or whatever. She was filming content for social media, and she had a few words to say about Nia Jax, which obviously apparently led to this match being made official between the two. We then get the NQCC, obviously what's left of the NQCC, Ren Sinclair and Charlie Dempsey backstage. Ren then say his name, and he appears, and apparently Joe Hendry shows up on NXT again, shows up on NXT television again. I think it's only a matter of time. When Joe Hendry's contract in TNA is up, I have a feeling he's going straight to NXT. I feel like that's just the way it's going to be. And it's probably better for him to do it that way. Have him start in NXT, give him maybe a year or so on NXT, or however long they feel like he needs, and then get him up to the main roster. when he's ready, when they think he's ready. But it is what it is. We got this led to Joe Hendry challenging Charlie Dempsey to a match next week. So we're getting that. Next week. Great. We got Yoshiki Inamura versus Stacks. This was made because of the last few weeks there have been some backstage interactions between the two of them where Stacks has tried to impart some, I guess, quote unquote wisdom onto Yoshiki Inamura about how he should just break up with his tag team partner Josh Briggs. Now they should just move away, and how it just doesn't help anybody out. Like, are you legitimately trying to get tag teams? Well, I don't think he's going to ever do that, so nice try. But it does feel like Josh Briggs is going heel if he hasn't already. I think he's going to. So this match was made official. This match went about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Wasn't even that long of a match. At one point, Ariana Grace decided to show up. And I was like, wait, why is she out here? Then I realized, oh, wait, I forgot. She and Stacks are dating. I forgot that her and Stacks are in a relationship. Outside of WWE, this then led to Josh Briggs coming into the ring, blindsiding Yoshiki with a big boot, albeit with the referee distracted by Ariana Grace. This then led to Stacks getting the pin by just simply covering him after the big boot by Josh Briggs. So, great. Stacks wins. Congrats to him, I guess. Then we get Thea Hale versus Nia Jax. This match, I almost assumed that Nia was going to win this match and it was going to be a short match. Went about 10 minutes, and it was pretty good. Thea Hale almost won this match, but obviously Nia won via the Annihilator. And yeah. But post-match, Lash Legend decided to come out and talk some smack to Nia. This then led to them brawling, obviously. So it is what it is. It is what it is. This, just like the Sheamus and Rusev brawl, was shown at least 2 other times in the match. It was shown at least 2 other times. After this, we got Trick Williams. We got Obafemi coming out. He wanted to talk about potential next challengers for him when it comes to the NXT title. This then led to Trick Williams apparently coming out, and this was obviously getting deja vu from Stand and Deliver build-up, because after they would talk for a few minutes, Javon Evans then decided to come out, and I was like, wow, okay, so we're going back to this? This was a very, very good triple threat match at Stand and Deliver. Now, obviously, Oba made the impromptu suggestion that maybe Javon Evans and Trick Williams go at each other for a shot at his NXT title. I'm like, okay, I could see that happen. I could see them wanting to run that back, those two in a match, with the winner facing Trick Williams, Obafemi at Heat Wave, which I'm guessing will be Javon Evans, because I just can't see Trick Williams doing that, getting that win. But yeah, it is what it is. We then get We then get an Ethan Page segment. He was out there obviously celebrating his win last week against Santino Marella, and while he probably doesn't like Santino Marella, there is one thing that he does like about Santino, and that is that he's Canadian, which makes him obviously better than all of you, which is what he's. Then Tavion Heights came out to interrupt, obviously. Most of these segments don't end without an interruption of some sort, so it made sense. So Tavion Heights, obviously, he is now out of the NQCC, and so he's basically doing what Miles Bourne is doing, and that is trying to find where he belongs. This then led to Chelsea Green coming out, which I was surprised to see Chelsea Green come out. She was there to, I guess, lend her support to her fellow Canadian, Ethan Page. Obviously, Tavion Heights, then by the end of the segment, Tavion Heights was just done with Ethan talking and decided to just throw a right hand, and that's how that ended. We then got Miles Bourne versus Lexis King. This was a decent match, went about 10 minutes, decent match, and Miles Bourne won. So it is what it is. Congrats to him. We also got the main event of Tatum Paxley versus Sol Ruca for the Women's North American Championship. This match went about 12 minutes. Very good match. Tatum Paxley was pretty darn good in this match, but at one point, the Culling attempted to get involved. Then at one point, at around the same time, Nia and Lash were still apparently brawling. They spilled out into the ringside area, and Lash Legend put Nia through the barricade. Wow. At ringside. Wow. Obviously, the Culling's interference backfired. Tatum Paxley got her soul snatched, and the 1, 2, 3, and Tatum and Sol Ruca retains. Good for her. Who eventually takes the title from Sol Ruca, I do not know, but hey, it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who was able to beat her for that title. Now, if I were to rate NXT this week, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Not perfect, but pretty darn good. Then we get AW Dynamite. We got the opening was Jon Moxley versus Mike Bailey. This wasn't exactly a good match, but it wasn't a bad match either. Went about 9 minutes. It was okay, but Jon Moxley won, obviously. Then Darby Allin came out to target Jon Moxley again, like he's been doing as of late. So obviously they're going to lead to a match. It's going to lead to a match between the two of them. When that happens, I don't know. But who knows? Who knows when? Who knows what'll happen? After this, we got an MJF promo. So he had some words to say to both Hangman Adam Page and Mark Briscoe, who he was facing on this night in the main event. So it is what it is. Some good stuff said by MJF. He is obviously a good heel in AEW. I may not exactly like him per se, but I don't mind him at all. Oh, I don't think I will be. And only because I don't have the money to go. But hey, it is what it is. I wish I could have gone, but I guess when you're someone like me and you just don't have the money to go to events like this, it is what it is. But we then get the Young Bucks backstage. They were being interviewed by Renee Paquette, who asked them if they had seen the Broditos last match in this tag team tournament match. This then led to the Young Bucks calling out a backstage guy. Don't know who his name is, but they were yelling at him. The last few weeks you've been giving us nothing but jobber entrances. We want our old entrance back. We want the pyro. We want everything. So they go out for their match against Brodito, and they get the exact opposite of what they demanded, of what they were demanding backstage. And then you've got Justin Roberts giving them their entrance, giving them their introduction, and apparently his introduction is basically word for word everything that they told him to say. Say word for word, with apostrophes and exclamation points, punctuation marks galore. And I thought, oh crap, this is funny. This is actually funny, because the Young Bucks are no longer executives in AEW, so they no longer get the privilege of having the best pyro, the best entrance. And they're obviously being treated like they wouldn't want to be like jobbers, and they're demanding to be treated with some respect. Well, should have won it all in if you wanted to keep your fancy titles within AEW and your fancy entrances and pyro. Yeah. But this is probably the most fun part of the entire show, was obviously the presentation of the Young Bucks has actually been pretty decent as of late, because there's actually some fun elements to their presentation now. So we get Brodito. This is Brody King and the Ring of Honor World Champion Bandito versus the Young Bucks. Went about 10 minutes. And in a surprising twist, I thought the Young Bucks were going to win this match because it's the Young Bucks. Like, when has AEW never presented the Young Bucks strong ever? But they lost this match, which surprised me. But then I'm like, yeah, this might have been the best outcome. So Brodito won. They face off against FTR. That's probably the most weirdest comment you've made so far tonight, Mox. Don't know why you would say that, but it is what it is. We then get a fatal four-way match. This is to determine a qualifier. This is a fatal four-way qualifying match for Forbidden Door. Whoever wins this match will be inserted into a fatal four-way match at Forbidden Door for the AEW Women's TBS Championship. There'll be, obviously, the champion, Mercedes Moné, will be in this match, defending her title against a competitor from AEW, CMLL, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. The winner of this match went about 8 minutes. The winner of this match was Alex Windsor, so she will be the AEW representative in this match. It was a decent match, but there was one spot that was botched. Sky Blue and Queen Aminata were... I'm guessing Sky Blue was supposed to hit a code blue onto a steel chair, and she botched it pretty badly. Don't know what to say. Don't know what to say about that, but it is what it is. Let's move on. Post-match saw Mercedes Moné get in the ring, stared down Alex Windsor, then started attacking her. Toni Storm, who has now recently been paired up with Alex Windsor. She got into the ring. This then led to Athena hitting the O-Face. I'm guessing that's her new name for the Eclipse. So I'm guessing they can't call it the Eclipse anymore because she's no longer in WWE, and I'm sure WWE owns the rights to that word, Eclipse. So that's what they did. Now she calls it the O-Face. So she hit it on Mercedes, on Toni Storm, and the segment ended with Mercedes and Athena staring at each other, potentially getting a bit of a loose alliance, an alliance of necessity, of convenience, kind of like what Charlotte and Alexa are at the moment. An alliance of convenience. Because I'm sure Mercedes is still a little bit sour about losing her match at All In against Toni Storm. We then get a Don Callis family segment. Don Callis is out there with the new TNT champion Kyle Fletcher, who beat Dustin Rhodes in a Chicago street fight. This was a decent match. That match was a decent match. Did it need to be as violent as it turned out to be? I don't think so. But who am I to argue? I'm just a fan. This went about as typical as you would think a Don Callis segment would go. This then eventually the segment led to Don Callis unveiling a painting of both Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis. Apparently Kyle Fletcher was posing nude with the TNT title covering his you-know-what area. Now, upon seeing this, I immediately thought, okay, this reminds me a lot of Shawn Michaels and that painting and that photo he did in the 90s, where he was posing with, I think, either the Intercontinental or the WWF Championship, and it was covering his you-know-what area as well. That's what it reminded me of. And that's all I'm going to say about it. But I thought that was pretty interesting, to say the least. Whatever floats your boat, Don. Well, we also got Swerve Strickland being interviewed. He had a lot to say about Kazuchika Okada before their match at Forbidden Door, which will be for the Unified Championship, which is basically the TBS International and Continental Championship combined into one championship. Enough said, not really much said here. Oh, it'll never happen. It'll never happen. I'll bet you it won't. In the main event, we got MJF versus Mark Briscoe. Went about 12 minutes. Good match between the both of them. Good match. Obviously, MJF won. Which I almost assumed he was going to do. But then MJF would go and just attack Mark Briscoe post-match. This then led to Hangman Adam Page coming out to make the save. So it is what it is. If I were to rate this week's AEW Dynamite, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It was decent in some spots, but a lot of also we got an MVP segment backstage with MJF. MJF is trying to reason with MVP with why Shelton and Bobby just don't seem to get it. But then MVP decided to tell MJF the harsh truth. And that is that ever since MJF joined the Hurt Syndicate, he's been acting like me, like me. What can you do for me? What can Bobby and Shelton do for me to help me get back my AEW World Championship? In the Hurt Syndicate, it's we, not me. Us. So it's obvious that MJF's ego was too much for the Hurt Syndicate. And that was obviously coming from MVP, who has probably one of the biggest egos in the business. So yeah, MVP gave him the thumbs down, which should basically signal the end of the MJF Hurt Syndicate story. Now, what this means, I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate right now because I have an idea of where they could be taking this, but I'm not going to talk about it right now because I don't know if it's even going to happen. But on to Friday Night SmackDown. We got John Cena opening up the show. He had a message for Brock Lesnar, who returned at SummerSlam. I'm not going to sit here and say that I do not like that Brock Lesnar is back. I mean, obviously, if he's back, that must mean that he's been cleared of any wrongdoing in the Janelle Grant lawsuit, because that was always the obstacle. That was always going to be the reason as to why he wasn't coming back. Was that if he wasn't cleared yet in the Janelle Grant lawsuit, he was never going to come back. So obviously the fact that he is back must mean that he has been cleared, and we should just move on and just accept the fact that he's been cleared and that he's back on television again, or going to be. We saw him at SummerSlam where he attacked John Cena post-main event. Not scared of Brock. I wouldn't be scared of Brock. I'd tell him to eat dog shit and give him the middle finger and give him both middle fingers. I'd get F5. I'd get an F5 for my troubles, but I wouldn't care. But yeah, we should all just move on. Brock's back. I'm okay with it. I like Brock. So, hey, we got John Cena calling out Brock. I'm guessing they're going to have Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at some point. But I thought we might be getting John Cena versus Brock at Clash in Paris. That is obviously not the case because John Cena would be interrupted by Logan Paul, who would call John Cena out for being a hypocrite and a liar, because then obviously this makes a little bit of sense because they had a rather loose alliance earlier on in the year going into Money in the Bank when they had a tag team match against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. So, hey, it is what it is. We got Logan Paul asking for a potential match with John Cena at Clash in Paris. John Cena basically asks, "Do you want this match?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want this match. Drew McIntyre comes out of nowhere, attacks John Cena. Cody Rhodes then comes out, saves the day. John Cena then decides, you know what, Logan Paul, you want me at Clash in Paris? You got it. But it looks as though you have a tag team partner with you at the moment. I've got a tag team partner right now, looks like. And so Drew McIntyre versus Logan Paul versus Cena and Cody Rhodes tonight. It was made official. And now, that match would main event the show. We then get a little video package we didn't get a backstage moment with Motor City Machine Guns, who are looking forward to going after the tag team titles again after Saturday night, after SummerSlam. I mean, if you're not looking to go after the tag team titles, even after suffering a horrific ladder match at SummerSlam, then what the hell are you even doing on SmackDown as a tag team if you're not looking to go for the tag team titles? That's just how I see it. And hey, but we then get this then led to a match. This then obviously bled into their match for tonight, which was Motor City Machine Guns versus DMFTs. Tawa Tonga, and JC Mateo was led to. This obviously was won by the MFTs, went about 10 minutes. What's interesting about this is that post-match, Solo Sikoa would reference the WWE Tag Team titles and how his team seems like they're ready for those tag team titles. If they're potentially going to run a Bloodline versus Wyatt family for a Wyatt 6 feud, I mean, I'm not going to be opposed to it because it would be different from what they've been doing. And it would be different for the Bloodline because they wouldn't be feuding with the same people week in and week out. They'd be working with different people now. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it is what it is. Then we get Nick Aldis coming out, and Solo Sikoa is obviously dressed to wrestle. He's got his gear on. And so he decides to give Montreal a match with Solo Sikoa versus Montreal's favorite wrestler, Sami Zayn. Hopefully this is just a one-off appearance because I do feel like he's still on Raw because he still has business with Seth Rollins to attend to eventually. But hey, this match went about 10 minutes, and Sami Zayn wins. It's non-title. I mean, he could get a title match out of it, but I don't think they are going to do a title match. Yeah, Solo Sikoa should not have lost that match. Shouldn't have not lost that match. It is what it is. We got Wyatt. We got another Wyatt 6 promo, vignette promo, whatever you want to call it. It was good. It is what it is. Typical Wyatt 6 stuff. So let's move on. We also got backstage. We got DIY and the Street Profits arguing. They're arguing about the ladder match at SummerSlam. Nick Aldis is like, enough. I thought that after giving you guys a ladder match for the tag team titles at SummerSlam would stop all this arguing and bickering backstage, but apparently you guys still seem to want to run your mouths. So I'm just going to make DIY versus Street Profits next week. Well, DIY could win this match because I feel like they need to be presented strong, but who knows? It is what it is. We got Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss in an in-ring segment today. Yesterday was apparently Alexa's birthday, so happy birthday, Alexa Bliss. She won't see this, but hey, happy birthday anyways. They had a celebration. Charlotte Flair even referenced a gift that Alexa had given her 4 years ago. And it was apparently it was the Charlotte Flair version of the Lily doll that she had given her as a gift. Alexa had given her as a gift 4 years ago, Charlie. So, and this doll had a "We're Not Friends" t-shirt on. So I thought that was pretty cute. This then led to Chelsea Green and her Secret Harvest coming out to interrupt, as always. This then obviously led to Charlotte Flair versus Chelsea Green being made official, and that match took place next. And it went about 9 minutes, and Charlotte Flair won. It is what it is. Nothing special, but hey, it is what it is. Oh, shut up, Mox. Surprised you finally decided to change to a different account. It is what it is. This Charlotte Flair run is actually probably may very well be her best run in quite some time, because she is a face now, and it's clear that the fans are actually connecting with her, and it may just be because she's not going after the women's championship, or it could just be that she's now opening up more about her struggles and stuff, and the fans are connecting with it. Who knows? But it's nice to see. We got John Cena backstage with R-Truth. This was a hilarious segment, because in this segment, R-Truth obviously they hugged, and John Cena then decided to go completely kill kayfabe or whatever, and actually told Truth that he was kind of worried about him for a few months. He kind of talked about how R-Truth turned heel, wanted to ruin wrestling, made a kid in Brussels cry. he was acting as if R-Truth had been the one to turn heel on Cody and not him, which I thought was a nice little funny moment. And R-Truth obviously looked shocked, like, what? What the hell are you talking about, Cody? I mean, Cena. I don't know, but that was actually kind of funny. We got an Aleister Black vignette. And hey, this feud between Damian Priest is shaping up to be a pretty decent one, and I figured this would be a good feud because they're both so good that this feud can obviously work. We got the main event. Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul versus John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Match was a little underwhelming. It went about 9 minutes. For a main event match, it went about 9 minutes. And the match ended with Logan Paul getting himself intentionally DQ'd after hitting a low blow on Cena, with the ref obviously seeing. So Cody Rhodes and John Cena won the match by DQ. They started brawling. They all started brawling post-match. At one point, Drew McIntyre hit Cody Rhodes with the title belt. And then Drew would proceed to hit what I thought was the best Claymore kick he's ever delivered, because he delivered the Claymore kick to Cody Rhodes. And he did it where Cody Rhodes went through the announce table, but through the bottom of the announce table. I saw that and I was like, damn. He went through the announce table, but he went through the bottom of the announce table. Like, okay, Drew. You want to make it perfectly clear that you're coming after Cody's title? I think that's the next feud we're getting for Cody. That's Cody's next feud. I don't know if Drew McIntyre wins the title in this feud, but it would be kind of a shock. It would be a little bit of a shock considering Cody just won the title back. But hey, it is what it is. This show was good. If I was to rate this show, I would give it a 7 out of 10 as well. A few things that I would have done better, or that didn't need to be on the show, but hey, it is what it is. Well, guys, I know some of you guys don't like seeing me go live, but I know a lot of you do. So I want to thank everybody that's I want to thank everybody that did show up today, or that didn't have anything negative to say about me, Mox. And I will see you guys next week. And until next time, peace. Bye, guys.